Now, this particular YouTube video is not going to be very lengthy because we plan at some point to do some teaching either at our main event, or main event being the month of October, our big camp meeting, or either on the Manifest telecast where we have a lot more time. We have about 22, 23 minutes to teach, and we try to keep our YouTube videos shorter for the sake of time because we know people are busy. But there is a very strong prophetic implication to the recent collapse of Afghanistan's government and the bringing back of the Taliban that we know was associated with Osama bin Laden and with the terrorist attacks that came. Of course, the 20 years of American soldiers occupying the area of Afghanistan was trying to train a government to fight terror organizations or terror groups. And recently, when the United States pulled out all of our basically all of our military forces out of Afghanistan, it was amazing how the Taliban was so swift to march into the villages and the towns and the cities and also the capital, Kabul, and began to take it over. Now, it's yet to be seen what will be the result of this new government that's going to be formed. It is yet to be seen. I'm not going to make any predictions on that. What I like to specialize in our ministry, for those of you who follow us, is doing a prophetic insight based on what we read about in the Scripture. So I'm going to keep this to the point and keep it brief. If you will look at where Afghanistan is located, over to one side, Afghanistan, actually to the east side, is Pakistan. Then you have to the western side, you have the country of Iran. And these are two of the largest countries that border this area. To the north, you have the Soviet Union. Now, why is it interesting to see the location? Because if you've noticed, this is, as it was in ancient time, a centralized location. It was very central to armies like Alexander the Great and even the Medes and Persians to control this territory because of the trade routes and the roads that come through that country that connect that country to the other parts of the world. So Afghanistan is a very significant centralized nation. Now, the second aspect is that in the war of Gog and Magog, it tells us in Ezekiel chapter 30 and 39 that the Persians, which that is the country of Iran, will direct a series of nations, and it just so happens that all the nations listed there in Ezekiel are presently Islamic nations, and they'll form this coalition and come into the northern part of Israel. That will be up through Lebanon, through Syria, to what is called the Upper Golan Heights area. Also, they will be involved on the edge of the country of Jordan, on the edge of the sea. And I think they'll actually do that by coming down through the Valley of the Passengers or the mountain ranges that are on the Jordanian side. Not that they'll take over the country of Jordan, but on the Jordanian side, because the country of Jordan escapes the Antichrist, according to Daniel chapter 11 and 12, if you read that. And that's another story, by the way, another teaching. But I do believe that if you see a radical rise of militants in Afghanistan, it is definitely going to spread to the other countries. Now, we have been told that the head of Iran is now a more radical person, and we also see what's happening in Syria and also up into Lebanon. And there is just a lot. And I'll be honest with you, I feel sorry for the people. I feel so much pity for the Christians that are going to be actually slaughtered, hung, and persecuted. We need to pray for our Christian brothers and sisters. We need to pray for the Afghan people, the common people. For some reason, in times of war, it's always the common people that have to suffer the most. And so our prayers are with the precious common people in that part of the world. My point of sharing this with you is I do believe that it's possible, and time is going to tell probably in the next couple months, that that area, which is very centralized and significant to organizing and spreading out of radicalism, is a prophetic area that deals with Ezekiel 38 and 39. And we will give you updates probably on our partners page, the Manifest Telecast, and some of our conferences, because you're a little bit limited as to the information you share on social media. At least, we try to be careful with that as much as possible. But I want us to pray for the people of these countries. And I mean sincerely pray and not just talk about it, because this could be a very, very major issue. And then the flip side of all of this is that these are prophetic times, and prophecy is going to be fulfilled swiftly. It's going to begin to take place much quicker than it ever has in the past. And so you can stay informed. We will. One of the blessings that the Lord has given my life is the ability to interpret the end time events based on Scripture, not my opinion, not my personal get up and say, thus saith the Lord, but on what Scripture teaches. And I will keep you informed, and that's why I want you to subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch also on YouTube the Manifest Telecast. And if you have a Christian television network or a network in your area that shows our program, be sure and watch it on all the cable networks. We always offer something special. I want you to watch this, and I hope that you'll get our material. We have a lot of prophecy DVDs, CDs that we don't advertise much, and you can go to perrystone.org and look at our online store. And by the way, that's what helps us keep all of our ministry going around the world, the feeding programs, the missions programs, the Samaritan Fund, the books, the tapes, the magazines, everything that we're a part of is because of your supporting the resources that we've put out there. Thank you, and may God bless you. Please give me your undivided attention. Many months ago, I began to hear secular economists announce a new global reset was coming. That's when I heard this phrase in my spirit, the American apocalyptic reset. For several weeks, I woke up early and began receiving a series of stunning prophetic downloads that I penned and now have placed them all in my brand new prophetic book, America's Apocalyptic Reset. This book is a must-read for all Christians, for all of those who love Bible prophecy, for conservative Americans and American patriots. The 19 chapters go extremely deep into exposing the agenda now being secretly plotted and to be publicly forced upon us, the American people, and how we can counter it. I discovered some very stunning ancient prophetic parallels and patterns, some that go back 4,000 years, that are repeating themselves in the United States right now. I deal with America's great Babel reset and the planned persecution of Christians, America's self-curse that will eventually bring judgment upon the nation, the coming Jezebel clash, the woman who will be president, how she would react and wisely resist corrupt governments. I reveal the unique Silicon Valley parallels and also go into the plans to bankrupt, then reset America economically. Also, I talk about how to function when the church must go underground. I received a very unique revelation concerning President Trump and a pattern that's found in history. There's a chapter also that I deal with how did the prophets get it wrong, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the most significant prophetic book in the history of my ministry, especially in the time that we're in. But that's not all. I'm also including my most recent inside information prophetic briefing on 2 audio CDs. It's 2 hours in length, and I will release detailed information that I cannot, and I want you to hear me, I cannot nor will I share this on social media or on television, as absolutely in the climate that we're now in, a lot of this information would be targeted for being blocked and banned if it was made public and not done in this private setting that we're doing it in. These 2 hours contain biblical, political, national, and international revelation and information that I am sure that many of you have not been aware of. It is for truth lovers only. I want you to order right now this prophetic resource package, my brand new book, The Apocalyptic Reset, and the 2-hour prophetic CDs by going online at perrystone.org or calling 1-888-21-BREAD, or write me at Perry Stone, P.O. Box 3595, Cleveland, Tennessee 37320. Now, we're making this available for your donation of $35 or more, and you can request the offer APR-140. That's APR-140. I'm going to unmask the radical globalists and individuals who have set out to oppose and silence Christians, silence patriots, and shut the mouth of conservatives. And we will show you in the book what we can do when we unite together. We are looking forward to getting this into your hands.